Welcome, Canada. It's election time, and I decided to make this video because I do think there is a clear best choice to use your vote going forward, and that's the PPC, People's Party of Canada. And I have two main categories of reasons. One, like the good, the positive, why you should, which you're supposed to make. But this is Canadian politics, so there is the much more important why everyone else sucks so much worse argument, which is going to be the longer one, because it is the more pressing one. So first, PPC. What is good about them? They are the only party that actually puts forward something to the right of center in their policy, anti-carbon tax. The only party that promises to balance the budget within the time frame they would be elected. Reduced immigration from, instead of like increasing it to high amounts when the system is stressed. So there's a lot in the PPC platform that conservatives like. So to utilize your vote for the PPC, it makes sense in a way that you sort of vote for your values, in which you want to shift the country. The country is rapidly shifting to the left in a political sense. Aaron O'Toole is to the left of where John Chrétien was. So to pull him back, that's where you'd want the PPC vote if the PPC gains strength and support. If it does pull 7% in this election, that's a huge number, right? It then changes the calculus in the Conservative Party to make them come more to the right or to the center to be less ridiculous. Okay. That's the pro-PPC argument. The real pro-PPC argument is actually the anti-everyone else argument. All right. Number one, Justin Trudeau. I mean, come on. Do I need to explain? So Justin Trudeau, bad. Number two, Jagmeet Singh. Basically Justin Trudeau, just a bit more Khalistani extremism. Three, the Green Party. They just love trees. They pretend to love trees, but they really don't like Jews. If you're an anti-Semite, you can vote for the Green Party, but the Civil War. If you're an anti-Semite, wait to see how the Green Party works out. Maybe vote for the NDP. That's maybe more your values. Okay, to non-crazy people, this then means, okay, it's between the PPC, Conservative Party, Derek Sloan, and Maverick, right? These are the options among the Canadian right. Now, if you want to vote independent, fine. But here's why I think the PPC is a better vote of this four. So let's start Derek Sloan. Okay, Derek Sloan didn't get his party registered. He's not even running in his own riding. Fun fact, whichever deep state operative convinced Derek Sloan it was a good idea to leave his riding and go somewhere into Alberta, that person will be rewarded. Someone from Derek Sloan's team is going to get back into the Conservative Party, and whoever it is the person who convinced Derek Sloan to leave his riding. So Derek Sloan didn't get a party made. You want to vote for him as an independent in Alberta, fine, but, the Derek Sloan idea is dead. So that leaves three options. It's Maverick, PPC, Conservative. These are the three parties. Maverick. Let's start there. Maverick's a joke. Jay Hill, the leader of the Maverick Party, isn't pro-separation, and it's a separatist party. And they're not filled out seats in the West. What's their point? They don't have a different policy on how to treat Alberta than, like, the PPC does. Maybe even the Conservatives, really. So in terms of, like, Albertan independence and Alberta getting a better deal, their platform is essentially the same. It's not significantly different from any of the other two parties, and it's a single-party issue that isn't even running on that issue. It's like if there was a Brexit party that didn't want to Brexit. Like if UKIP was pro-European Union. No. I get we want to vote for the West, and I understand that vote, but the Maverick isn't real. Okay? It was pretty clear when they decided not to win and change their name from Wexit, which people understood, to Maverick, and then destroy all their political opportunities. So the Maverick, that's not a real party. If you want to vote for the West, just write Wexit on the thing so people know. So PPC or CPC. Now, I understand the Justin Trudeau is bad argument. And this is the key Aaron O'Toole argument being made is, don't you hate Justin Trudeau and don't you think Justin Trudeau is bad? You hate Justin Trudeau, vote for me. And they're cleverly running this election as a referendum on Trudeau. But, as I've said, there's two reasons why to not vote for Trudeau. So reason number one, you really hate his face, he wears blackface, he's condescending, he's privileged and annoying. All of this might be true. And if that's your I hate Justin Trudeau because of those reasons, vote for Aaron O'Toole. That's the Aaron O'Toole argument. There's a second argument, which is Justin Trudeau is ruining the country with his ideology, critical race theory, hyperinflation, everything that he's doing, all the policy and everything he's doing to drag the country ideologically and financially off a cliff is bad. And he's saying, I'm going to drive the car off the cliff at 100 miles an hour, and Aaron O'Toole's platform is, no, that's crazy. We will drive the car off the cliff at 93 miles an hour. So, you're still voting to drive the car off the cliff. if that's your problem, is we're going off a cliff, well, then you need someone to turn around. And here's the extreme danger of Aaron O'Toole, in my view. We're all talking about the COVID measures, and we're all sort of worried about that. We're in the middle of a fourth wave. I mean, everyone you know is dead. You're also dead because of the flu that came out of the province of Western Taiwan. Right now, the Conservative Party is not actively fighting the measures, but they're pretending to sort of fight the measures or somewhat criticize Justin Trudeau as means to score political points because they know it's irrelevant. Do you really think the Conservative Party will fight back or will fight for your civil liberties? I mean, as someone who's been under a coordinated lawfare assault from Aaron O'Toole's team, I can tell you these guys don't really respect freedom of speech all too much. Do you really think that Aaron O'Toole, who's flip-flopped so many times on the mandatory vaccines and passports, is going to be a good leader? I mean, you look at the influx of people going in and out of the Conservative parties provincially and federally. It's just how it is. What's to make you think that Aaron O'Toole's team would be any different than Doug Ford or Jason Kenney? Like a lot of Ontario and Alberta people, the same people who are, Ford and Kenney, are swirling around O'Toole. So you get O'Toole in there, then the media immediately goes fourth wave. How is Aaron O'Toole going to handle this? You've already seen in Ontario that when the Conservative leader just says, you know what, we're going to go full Australia. I'm declaring myself the dictator. Maybe one or two MPs rebel. The rest are cowards. And everyone falls in line because the media is happy because you're taking away civil liberties. And that's just all they want. They don't care about any. I mean, that's incorrect. The media does care about civil liberties in an inverse way. They just care about having less of them. So you're losing a fake opposition. Like, do you really think the Liberals and the NDP are going to criticize Aaron O'Toole if he starts instituting mandatory vaccine passports and all this different stuff? Keeps us locked down forever? Right, you're going to lose. The gamble here is you're gambling that you gain more people who are now woke to the lockdowns because they don't like the person in charge. So you have Liberal and NDP voters who are just kind of going along with it because it was the left-wing thing to do. You have to hope that they flip-flop and say, oh, just because conservative man bad, I disagree and I'm leaving. Now, I think the number of those people that will actually do that is rather low because you see that happening in Ontario when Doug Ford did it. You're not seeing a lot of pushback from the left to his authoritarianism. And then you have to counter that with how many people are you losing? How many people are sort of skeptical of the government right now, but only because that government figure is Trudeau? How many people who are just on the blue team would see the blue team is in charge and then just check out because their team's in charge and they don't care about their team abusing power? That's the real danger of voting for the Conservative Party here. And the PPC, I think, is the better vote because you can vote your values. And I also do think it is a strategic vote long term. Now, is the PPC going to sweep through? Are we going to see the purple wave take over and the PPC are going to win a majority? No, that's not going to happen. But if you vote, and if they get a significant amount, they then gain political capital, which will move the country in the right direction. I think it's clearly the only vote that does anything productive long term. And I know we all hate Justin Trudeau, and trust me, I do too. But he's driving the car off the cliff at 100 miles an hour. 94 miles an hour isn't much of an improvement. It's just a slight delay until the death caused by hyperinflation and critical race theory. Which is why I think we should all vote for the PPC. Or write my name in. Or just write in not Justin Trudeau. Or bring back Stephen Harper. That'd be nice if we could just bring back Stephen Harper. And then the left will just go insane and melt. Yeah, Stephen Harper. Fun times.